So good evening. This is our last evening session. I thought it would be really nice this evening to pull together some of the postures that I think give the nicest sensations, postures that really draw our awareness into the body. I've spoken a bit this weekend about the importance of quietening the mind and internalizing, coming into the body space, so getting out of the head. And these are some of my favorite postures that help me to do just that. So we're going to start semi-supine. Feel free to take a bit of padding for your head, not too much, not too thick, but for comfort, so that the back of your skull doesn't feel the pressure of the floor. And just bring yourself down and onto your back and into semi-supine. So take a few moments here just to arrive in your practice for this evening. You can maybe bring your hands to begin with just onto your chest. And take a moment to connect to your breath here. Feel the way that your upper body, your chest, responds to your breath. You feel the heart space open as you inhale, and feel some releasing away through your upper back and your shoulders, your shoulder blades as you exhale. With each breath here, we become a little more sensate. We let go of our thoughts and our distractions. And then you can bring your hands lower, bring them onto your abdomen, your belly space, and just feel the breath here for a moment. So you feel rise into your hands as you inhale, opening around your navel space. And as you exhale, just notice the way the back releases. The back of the waist might soften. And gradually, as we relax, the breath becomes smoother, longer. And we start to feel that we breathe more freely. Now you can relax your arms at your sides and notice here where you feel the first expansion of your inhale, where you feel the breath is arising from. And you just take 2 or 3 breaths here, really noticing the sensations, really noticing where the breath begins. Where you feel the expansion. And then change your arms and take them higher, just as high as feels comfortable for you. So if right up and over, the way that I'm taking mine is too much for your shoulders, if it brings tension around your shoulders, just take them wide at shoulder height. So as high as you comfortably can without creating any stress, and take a breath or two here. And just notice again where you feel the breath, if you feel the breath rising in a slightly different place. If we feel more open now in the ribs, maybe in the chest. No right or wrong here. We're just observing, making a connection to our breath, to our bodies. Noticing how our breathing is, if our breathing is fragmented or choppy, or if it's smooth. And then when you feel ready, you can bring your left knee in towards you and just take your arms over so that your hands come around the front of your left shin. As you exhale, see if you can just let the left leg soften in towards you. So you're flexing your hip, you're maybe releasing some of the tension to the left of your spine. You can close your eyes here and just notice if there's any tension around your eyes or around your jaw. And you can sigh anytime you need to, anytime you just want to rinse away a little gripping or holding. And then I just want you to stir into your left hip. So you're drawing just a really small circle with your left knee. Just about as big as a saucer is plenty, but go slowly. So you feel that you're stirring into your hip. And go really slowly. Try and bring your attention right into your hip. Visualize the way the head of the femur here moves in there. It's the acetabulum. And then you can go the other way, just 2 or 3 times. Really slow, easy rotation. And you notice if the movement is choppy or fragmented. Try and refine it so it's a really smooth, easy, circular movement. And then you come back to the center, and we're just going to take this leg into a reclined pigeon pose. So your left foot is coming onto your right thigh. You maybe dorsiflex your left foot just to help you stabilize your knee. You can use your left hand just to help you open your left hip here. And you might rock just side to side, just across the back of your pelvis, across your sacrum once or twice. Really nice shift of weight across your sacrum, and then just coming back to the center. Really try and feel that the distribution of weight is even across both sides of your body, and then bring your legs in towards you if you can. If you need to leave that right foot on the floor, you can modify the posture. by taking it here with your foot on the floor. If it's okay for you to bring the legs in towards you, go ahead. And for most of us, I think just holding the back of the thigh is enough, but you have the possibility maybe of holding the front of your shin or the front of your knee. Be sure that you're not compromising the alignment in your upper back, just to reach around the front here. Maybe be happy to hold the back of your thigh. You drop your shoulders and your shoulder blades, look for alignment in your upper back. You might rock again. Notice if your neck is rigid here. Maybe let your head go a little in the direction that you're moving your pelvis. So if you can free things up, connect your head to your pelvis, and then take a few breaths here. Now it's as if you're trying to breathe all the way down and into your pelvic space, as if you're trying to use your breath to open into your hips. So close your eyes and just follow your breath here, all the way down and into pelvic space. Really long inhales and really long exhales. And notice everything that you feel here as you inhale. You feel your diaphragm pressing down towards your abdominal contents, pressing down towards your pelvic contents, and creating that very real sensation of expansion all the way down and into your pelvis as you breathe. And take another breath there. Good. Now you can put your right foot on the floor. Bring your left leg back in towards you. And if you feel that you just need to stretch that leg out, maybe release your hip flexors before you hug in again, you can. And then very slowly we extend the left leg. So you're just reaching out to the point that you feel the resistance and the tension in the back of your left leg and your hamstrings, and then you're bending your left leg again. Now try exhaling as you extend your leg. And inhaling as you bend. Now does the exhalation help you release the back of that leg? One more time. Good. Now lead the leg up there. Interlace your hands around the back of your thigh. If your leg is shaking, or if you feel stress or real strain here, bend your knee a touch so that you soften the posture. Don't make it all about dragging the leg in towards you, okay? Find as much opening as you can by straightening the leg as much as you can without the stress or strain, rather than bending your leg and kind of cheating yourself and dragging it all the way in towards you. This alignment's really nice with your leg almost perpendicular to the floor. It's nice if you feel stretchy. You can bring it in a bit further or straighten the leg out a bit more if that's what feels appropriate for you. But you're going to be here for a moment or two, so make sure you're not stressing or striving. You might want to run your hand over the back of your leg and you'll feel the tangles and the knots in your hamstrings. You try and open into the back of the knee a little bit more if you can. You relax your shoulders down, try a big sigh. And then just point your toes so you plantar flex your left foot. And hold it there for a moment or two. And you maybe feel some stress in the arches of your left foot. And then you go the other way, so you dorsiflex the foot. So pull the toes towards you, push the heel up. So you're strengthening the front of your foot, your ankle, your dorsiflexors, and you're opening through the back of your ankle. Try and splay your toes. And then just do one more in each direction, but go slowly. And the other way. Try and open your toes, open the back of your knee. Take a long breath. And then give the foot a rotation here, a circle, but go slowly again. You can watch this. So if you have your eyes closed, maybe open your eyes. And just see what you're doing here. If the movement, again, is fragmented or choppy. And see if you can refine. And then go the other way. Nice slow, big rotation. These are really important if you want to feel connected through your feet to the ground in your yoga practice. Some work at strengthening and mobilizing your feet every day. And you'll see these aren't as easy as maybe they look. You need to really concentrate to keep that movement nice and even. Now just plantarflex and dorsiflex again. And then I want you to leave your leg up, but bring your hands to the floor alongside your hips. And then close your eyes and start to lower your leg. Now I just want you to go, to begin with, maybe 1/4 of the way down. And then just maybe pause for the inhale. And then go another 1/4 of the portion. So you're about halfway down to the floor. And then pause for your inhale, and as you exhale you can go again, just another 1/4. So you're 3/4 of the way down. And just take a pause again. And then this time just go halfway to the floor, so you're going 1/8 of the way further. So you're stopping just a few inches above the floor, and pause there again. And then very, very super slowly lower your foot, your leg, that last tiny portion of the way down. And when your foot comes all the way to the floor, you take a pause. And then when you're ready, you can bend your left leg, put the sole of your left foot on the floor. So you come back to semi-supine and just notice how your body feels left to right side. If there's any difference in the way that your body feels, you might just rock from side to side, again with your legs. Maybe let your head move a bit with your legs. And then when you're ready, you can bring your right leg in towards you and you just interlace around the front of your right knee or your right shin. Drop your shoulders down. Notice how the right side feels in comparison to how your left side was beginning to feel, how maybe this right side feels duller than your left side. When you're ready, you take a slow rotation. So you just start to stir into your right hip. So lots of patience here. You can visualize again the way the bones move. Stirring into your hip. You can go the other way and notice if the movement is choppy at all, or if you can keep it really smooth, really precise. So with your eyes closed, you're feeling really deeply into your hip. You're coming back to the center, and if you want to stretch the leg out, you can. And then when you're ready, you bring it into reclined pigeon pose. So your right ankle comes onto your left thigh this time. You open your right hip. You might again rock side to side. So you just feel, go really slowly with this, be subtle and patient, and just feel the way the weight shifts across your sacrum. When you're ready, you come back to center and you bring the legs in towards you. So you can come around the back of your left thigh, or maybe the front of your left shin. Be sure that you're not bunching your shoulders up. You want your upper back to release down, your chest nice and wide, collarbones long. You might rock again as you settle in. There's a real propensity just to fall over to the right a bit when you're doing the right leg, because it's easier here, it's easier space here. Try and keep it as centered as you can. And then just tuning into your breath again and breathing as deeply down towards your pelvic space as you can. Try and feel that the breath opens into your hips, into your pelvis. Good. When you're ready, your left foot comes to the floor. Again, you might want to stretch out your right leg before you bring it back in towards you. And then very slowly we extend and bend. Exhale as you extend, as you ask for release and opening. And inhale as you bend. Feel as you exhale and as you straighten your leg, that little giving moment where you feel a bit more space in the back of your leg. Once more. Really nice, slow movements. You can hold it here. Maybe again, run your hands over the back of the leg. You feel the little tangles and the knots in your muscles. You feel the space opening in the back of your knee. And you come into a comfortable place where you feel some stretch, but not too much stress. So back off if you need to, bend the knee even if you need to. Your shoulders are broad, your upper back aligned, and you plant a flex your right foot. Try and curl the toes around so that you can see the knuckles just above your toe roots. And then dorsiflex. And again. And dorsiflex. And then rotate. So you're drawing the biggest circle that you can with your toes, keeping it really smooth so it's not jerky or fragmented. And then you go the other way. Good. Plantar flex and dorsiflex again. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands to the floor alongside your hips. You close your eyes and you lower your right leg a quarter of the way down. And then you can pause here and inhale. And then really slow exhale. You take it to halfway down. And then again, another quarter, so about 3/4 of the way down, and take a pause here. So we'll feel a bit of stress in the leg, just holding it here. And then lowering down kind of half of the rest of the way. So you feel that you pause with your foot, with your leg, just a few inches above the floor. Eyes are closed. You hover here. And then very, very, very slowly, you lower the last part of the way. And I love this sensation here, that the floor is always just a bit further away than I expect. So finally the leg comes down to the floor and we take a breath. We let the leg relax. And then when you're ready, you bend your right leg and you come back to semi-supine. And just notice how you feel here, how you feel more connected into your feet and legs and hips. There's more sensation, more energy. And then checking the alignment of your feet. So about hip distance apart, with the edges of your feet, the outer edges of your feet parallel with the outer edges of your mat. So you're not turning your toes out, you're not turning your toes in. And we think about rising into Setu Bandhasana, but I want you to do this very, very slowly. So as you exhale, imagine you're sending the energy down and into your feet, and that energy rebounds from your feet and it starts to flow your hips up and away from the floor. So to begin with, you're lifting your pelvis, but so that you can still feel the back of your clothes skimming the floor. So all you're really doing is taking the weight out of your pelvis. And just pause there for a second. Take an inhale and feel the way the inhalation opens into the front of your body. And then as you exhale again, imagine the exhalation moves all the way down into your feet. And there's some rebound energy that just brings your pelvis a tiny bit higher. And you just pause here and you take a breath. So there's no stress or strain. You're not looking for big extension in your spine. You can keep your spine neutral here. When you feel ready, on an exhale, you maybe send the energy down into your feet and you lift again. Now, try not to overly grip behind your hips. Try not to grip with your buttocks muscles, your hip extensors. If you can, consciously soften behind your hips. Relax the buttocks, the glutes. Take another breath. And again, as you exhale, the energy moves down through your legs and into your feet. And rebounds the pelvis just a tiny bit higher. And then pause here for a moment and breathe. Breathe into your belly. And as you breathe out, imagine you're breathing out through your back and you're letting go of any gripping or tension that you're feeling in your back. Let go of some of the gripping behind your hips and your glutes. And notice where you feel the breath. Do you feel it most in your belly? And then, just as you did in semi-supine at the beginning, let the arms come a bit higher. So it might be shoulder height for you, it might be right up and over your head. And hover here for a moment or two longer. Take another breath or two. And notice if you feel the breath differently now that you've elevated your arms. When you're ready, you can bring the arms back to your sides, or you can rest your hands on your belly or your pelvis if you prefer. I'm still hovering, still with your hips off the floor. And then I want you to come down super slowly. So the first thing you lower is your very upper back. It's as if you're just dropping your breastbone down. And then imagine that you're just dropping your back ribs. Now you maybe scoop your tail towards the ceiling here, so you posterior tilt your pelvis. And you put down the back of your waist, but not yet your sacrum. So not the back of your pelvis, but the back of your waist. And that should leave you in just a posterior tilt in your pelvis. So your upper back is down, your middle back is down, your lower back is down, but your pelvis, your sacrum is still slightly lifted. Hold it here. And then very, very slowly allow yourself to release down and into your sacrum, into your pelvis. Oh. And right there, it's the nicest feeling of sinking into the floor, almost as if you're suctioned into the floor. So a really powerful sensation of grounding and releasing. Allow yourself to be there for a moment or two and just enjoy that feeling. You feel connected through your feet. Certainly through there at the back of your pelvis, your sacrum. And you might just give your legs a tiny rock here again, just side to side. So you're just moving the weight across the back of your pelvis. Good. You bring the knees in towards you when you're ready. So really slowly you hug in. And you just take a breath or two here in Apanasana. And you know the vinyasa here, it's very subtle, but you squeeze in slightly as you exhale. And you move away slightly as you inhale. It's just like you're expanding and condensing with the natural pattern of your breath. So expanding on your inhale, condensing on your exhale. Good. We're going to bring ourselves very slowly up to sitting. You might roll over onto one side, give yourself a push-up. If you feel that you can roll up really slowly, you roll up. We bring ourselves all the way around. And you might use a block here for support in your Sukhasana. And I just want us to take a breath or two here. So you soften your shoulders, you release the weight down into your base. Try and elongate your exhalations. And just really notice the sensations of grounding and releasing each time you exhale. So maintaining this real connection to your breathing. You can bring yourself over and onto your hands and knees. So we're coming into a tabletop pose. We're going to do Madhyasana, but very, very, very slowly. So you're not moving with any particular breathing pattern or vinyasa. You're going to continue to breathe slowly and mindfully. And the first thing that we'll do is posterior tilt the pelvis, and we're not moving the whole back, so you're not moving from your middle back here. You're keeping your upper back and your middle back as neutral as you can. You're just looking to tuck the tail slightly under, so it's a really small, subtle movement. And as you draw your tail under, notice the contractive quality that you feel right at the very root of your body, right into your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. So you feel connection right down at your base. And then when you feel ready, you move it a bit further, so you're just trying to open the back of your waist. And then you rise into your middle back, still drawing the tail under. And then into your upper back, like you spread out your shoulder blades. You open behind your heart. The last thing you do is drop your head down. Good. And then go very, very slowly in the other direction. So you come back through neutral spine. And then you let your sit bones lift and you start to open up through your belly space, through your navel space, through your heart space. Keep your collarbones wide. Try not to pinch into your lower back here. Try and find even sway all the way through your spine. And then when you're ready, you go back through neutral. And you go the other way again. So start with the posterior tilt. Be sure that you're not in too much of a hurry here. It's a small movement. Posterior tilt your pelvis. Feel the pelvic floor. The way there's that subtle lifting from the root. You open the back of your waist as if you're spreading out your vertebra along central thread. There's no pinching. Opening into your thoracic spine, spreading out your back ribs, right into your upper back. Bowing your head down, looking inward, and feeling that lovely space all the way through your posterior side as you flex your spine. You can pause for a breath and notice the way the inhalation opens more into your back. The way the exhalation emphasizes the contraction, the abdomen towards the spine. And then just one more time, take it the other way. So you come through neutral. Don't just collapse into your lower back. Lift the sit bones and open navel space. All the way through your abdominal space, your heart space, your chest. Pause here and feel the way the energy really flushes as you extend your spine. Lovely. You release your feet into plantar flexion and you start to make your way back into child's pose. Now go slowly here, hold on with those fingertips. Reach back, your sit bones, try and tease out more space. So again, check your tendencies to hurry. Ease out, lengthen, and relax your forehead to the floor. And just take a breath or two here into your back. Feel that you open into every space, the back waist, the back ribs, behind your heart. Good. When you're ready, you bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. And we're going to take the most effortless downward facing dog. So root your hands, turn your toes under, and move the weight back so you're coming into your toe roots. So as if you're moving back towards Balasana almost, but with your toes tucked under. Let the head hang so you release your neck. And then with an exhale, feel the foundation, press the toes and the hands, and start to come up, pressing back all of the time. So you keep your shoulders open and you come slowly. So just keep the knees bent here for a moment. Let the shoulders open a bit more. Let the head hang a bit more and breathe. And then open maybe a bit further. Make sure that you're not too concerned with straightening your legs. It might be nicer just to keep your shoulders open and keep your legs a little bit bent for today. One more breath. Good. Again, just feeling the exhalations move all the way into all four corners of your downward dog. Ah, good. When it feels like enough, you bring your feet towards your hands, nice and slow, and we come into Uttanasana. Now bend your knees here. Certainly don't lock out your legs. So the knees are soft, the head is hanging, and you might just nod the head here, just once or twice. Try and feel a looseness in your neck. Maybe shrug your shoulders. Take a long inhale and a long exhale. Good. Now we're going to restack the spine, but super slowly. So the first thing that you do is press into your feet. And I just want you to feel the way when you press down, the energy ascends through your legs and your femurs, your thigh bones. They really install, they really plug into your hips and your pelvis. So firstly, without rolling up, without coming up, just pressing into the feet and feeling that, the way the energy comes up and into your hips. And then continuing to press into your feet, feel the energy rising up into your pelvis, and you just start to roll up. But you let your head hang, you let your arms hang, keep the knees bent. If you straighten your legs, you'll block the energy. Slowly, really slowly, you restack your spine. Good. Okay, stand in your feet for a moment and you just feel this connection to your body, to the earth, to your breath. And then in the same way, I want you to roll back down. So the first thing we do is drop the head. And we just let the arms hang slightly in front of the thighs here. Let your shoulders your upper back round, just a touch, but resist the temptation to hinge forward from your hip or at the waist. So everything is neutral apart from upper back, apart from your head and your neck, just hanging. And then see if you can go a bit further. So you just round more into your thoracic spine. Check in with your arms. They should just be hanging, just dangling here in front of your legs. The arms a little swing. Go a bit further when you feel ready. We have a real tendency for the arms to cling in towards the legs, so check the plumb line here and make sure the arms are just dangling. Gradually, you work your way down. Arms dangle, head hangs. You feel as you roll down into this that you're releasing the space between each vertebra of your spine. Like a rag doll, you come all the way down. When you're all the way down here, you might feel that your forward fold is deeper, effortlessly deeper than ever. Be sure that your head isn't pulling up, you're not tightening your neck, you're just allowing everything to hang with that lovely space between each vertebra of your spine. You take a breath or two here. And if you're relaxed in your fold, you should feel that you're a bit buoyant on your inhale, that you're lifted slightly by your inhale, and that you release, that you fall a little bit into your fold as you exhale. Take another breath or two. See how the exhale feels. Oh, good. Okay, when you're ready, you'll heel toe your feet out just a bit. Turn the toes out a few degrees, and if you can, release down and into Malasana. So really firm foundation in your feet. Lovely opening across the back of your pelvis and your sacrum, real release into your hips. And as you drop the weight down into your heels, you feel as if you're really unlocking your hips. You take a breath or two here. Energy rinses all the way down towards your tail as you exhale. When you're ready, you release down and into your seat. You bring the soles of your feet together. You might bring some padding under the outer edges of your feet if you wish. Just go back here. We'll sit for a moment in Baddha Konasana. So often some support just under the back of the pelvis can be really helpful. There's no push or pull. If you feel that it's difficult for you to sit with your spine aligned, you could hold to your ankles. And if you pull back a little bit, just here, so as if you're drawing the ankles in towards you, you'll feel that you activate your back muscles, and that encourages maybe your chest to lift and open. If you don't need this, you can relax your hands wherever you're comfortable. You take a breath. You release down into your sit bones as you exhale. You relax your shoulders. Any tension just flows away from your neck, from your shoulders, your back. You can stay here, simple Baddha Konasana, or you can take your Baddha Konasana further forward to a forward fold. So be sure that you're not stressing or striving. You know you can bring some support in here. You can stack your cushions or your bolster or your blocks so that you can rest your head down. Or you can allow your head to hang if that feels okay, if that just feels like nice tractioning out through your neck and your spine. And it's just with real patience that we allow ourselves to move closer towards the feet. Breathing into your back. And we just stay here for another breath or two. When you're ready, you bring yourself up slowly, and you can use your hands so that you don't bring any stress into your back as you bring yourself up and restack your spine. And then you take a breath. You observe for a moment how you feel. And we're going to take ourselves down and relax for a few moments here. Now take your time to set yourself up. You might want to use some blanket underneath the back of your head. You might want another blanket to cover yourself over. You might want some cushions or blocks underneath the backs of your legs. So just supporting the backs of your thighs can be really helpful. It can be less stress on your lower back, certainly, than laying flat on the floor. So really take your time to get yourself just so. If you want to tuck your head in so you have more support, you know, you're rolling these ends of your blanket in. And you tuck in underneath the back of your neck and around your head. So you feel that your head is cradled, that it's held. And you can tuck the top in just around the top of your head as well. Make sure that you're not creating too much of an angle. You're not really changing the alignment of your neck. So you fill in all of those spaces so your head feels really supported and held in there. You can let the arms just open out to your sides, so you have space between your upper arms and the sides of your body. And then you can be here with your palms facing up, or you can turn your hands in and rest your hands on your belly. And again, we just allow ourselves to drop into our body space, to become sensate. Notice how you're breathing. Notice your inhalation and your exhalation. Notice the very end of your exhale. There might be a second or so there before your next inhalation arises. And notice how it feels to be in that pause at the end of the exhale. How in that moment we feel peaceful and grounded and relaxed, spacious. And so if you can, really allow yourself to fall into that pause, the very end of your exhale. And you notice there that we feel contentment. You notice that gradually those pauses become longer, And there's no control, there's no holding or forcing. The body, the respiratory system are just able to relax there for a moment or two at the end of each exhale. So I think what we feel here are some of the nicest sensations in yoga. And maybe one of the most important realizations is also here. We realize that at the completion of the exhale, we find the grounding, the peace, the quiet, the tranquility, everything that we look for. There's a little moment of pure bliss. It's like a micro samadhi. We realize that we can let go of anything that we need to let go of here. We can let go of anything that holds us back from the state of yoga. Anything that holds us back from relaxation, from centering or grounding. And breath by breath, we can fall a little deeper into this pause. We watch each inhale, each exhale, and each pause, each Kavala Kumbhaka, the unforced resting phase at the end of the exhalation. And you can stay here for a few breaths more, just observing. Your mind maybe takes its last few drifts before finally resting completely. When you feel that you're ready, you can take a deeper inhale. You might retain that inhale for a second or two, and then exhale very slowly. And you can repeat that once or twice more. So a deeper inhale. You just hold that feeling of fullness for a moment or two. And And then a really slow exhale. You gradually awaken. You maybe move your fingers, your toes. You can stretch your arms, your legs. Stretch out your whole body. You can hug your knees in towards you and just hold yourself for a moment or two. Give yourself a hug. And when you feel that you are absolutely ready, you can bring yourself slowly back up to sitting. And you establish a comfortable seat. Use your support. You can cover your legs or your shoulders. And just notice how you feel again. As we come to the completion of our weekend. You can bring your hands in front of your heart. And with gratitude, we bow forward. And when you're ready, you come slowly up. Namaste. And thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed recording it. I'll see you all soon. Good night.